Hey everybody. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming. Today we're gonna have a special guest. Did you guys hear that echo? Brian Conway is here. I apologize if I just stopped talking. Brian Conway is here. There it goes again. I do not know what's happening. I do know what's happening, and I fixed it. Okay, there we go. That won't happen again, everybody. I apologize. Thanks, Tommy. I was hearing myself come back at me, Tommy, but I figured it out. Hi guys in the chat. Hi Pam. Hi Tommy. We are gonna have Brian Conway today, and he comes to Mastermind basically every single day, and I always appreciate that Brian's there because he always throws things in the chat that I talk about, and I appreciate it because I'm not good at doing all the links and talking at the same time. But he also is really good at bringing a different perspective to Mastermind and to List Perfectly. And so I always appreciate when he's here. So hi, Bri.
Hello, Trish.
I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out of your busy photography day schedule.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So
Of
it's been a busy
course.
day.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about pricing and about how maybe it's changing a little this going forward. You know, I used to feel that basically you could just buy anything and put it up and people would sell it. I don't think it's quite that straightforward anymore. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that. I think it's more complicated now than it used to be. And I think having a pricing strategy across platforms is really important now. Do you agree with that?
I do agree because every platform is different. So you got to play by their rules and their fee structures and stuff like that, and what their customers are wanting. So
right, agreed. And that's one thing we don't really talk about very much, I suppose, is that different customers expect different things on different platforms. And the Poshmark buyer is really different than the eBay buyer, and I think the Depop buyer is different than those two buyers. I mean, you do have some that go to any or all, and they're finding you on Google search or whatever, but there are also a lot of platform specific buyers. Okay, so let's talk about why marketplace fees matter so much coming up in 2026. So I think that fees are more prominent now. They're not just, they used to be like background noise, right? I never worried about fee structure before, right? I would throw it up, it would be 20, 30%. I'd make my money, I'd keep it moving. But now, especially on eBay, I think that fees can sometimes be as high as 50%.
I agree. So
Especially go ahead.
Especially with promoted listings and all the different ways that they want you to get your listing seen, now it's going to cost you more money. So
right. So you're paying for visibility.
yeah,
right? Yeah. And Poshmark, Poshmark is changing its platform. I think that Poshmark is going to come with a lot of changes in 2026. Tell them about the email you received this morning.
Yeah, I received an email from Posh yesterday that they're changing their bulk listing tool template, and
Which is for enterprise only at the moment, right?
that's what we're figuring out is enterprise only, and I do
Yep.
have an enterprise account. But they're going to go to that simple or what is it?
Yeah.
Smart sell.
Smart selling. Yeah.
The smart sell. That's going to be the only source of offers to likers. They're going to eliminate the offers to likers feature in January. So we don't know if it's coming across to everybody or just enterprise sellers, but as of right now, enterprise sellers won't have the offers to likers.
I would bet my bottom dollar that it will come across to everybody. I would be shocked if it only was enterprise sellers because there'd be no reason for you to stay at that level. You could drop down and use the tool. I see no reason why that they're not going to get rid of the offers to likers for everybody. And so that's an interesting thing. How much of your business right now comes from offers to likers on Posh? Is it a big chunk of your?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest chunk on Posh, but my Posh is only like 4 to 5% of my business, so it's really small.
Which
So
is interesting. So tell everybody, what do you sell?
I sell clothes, DVDs, and CDs are my primary topic categories. I do sell some hard goods. I do sell some collectibles, but that's a really small amount. But DVDs and CDs and clothes are my top three.
Okay, so if clothes are your top three, why do you think that Poshmark is such a small percentage of your business?
I have no idea, but it is so small. I list every day. I'll do the offers of likers. I share every day, but it is so small.
Interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting the way some people.
I sell more DVDs and CDs and VHS over there than I do clothes.
So crazy, Brian. That's so crazy. Liz wrote, I thought they did away with the enterprise accounts. No, they're starting to do away with some of the special things that the enterprise accounts got, but they still have them. Brian's still in it. Desiree Susie, I believe, is still in it. So one of the things I wrote, and I think this is really true, two sellers can sell the exact same thing for the same price, and only one will make money, right? This whole thing about what you're buying stuff for, how you market it, what your fees are, so if I'm paying extra fees for extra visibility comparatively to you, if my buy cost is higher than what your buy cost is, there is a lot that comes into play with pricing. But for me, the biggest thing is it's only worth what somebody's going to pay for it. And so you have to make sure that what you're listing it at is actually something that somebody's willing to pay for, or put it on sale. You're right. It will just sit. And I think that then there's another thing that you should take up. I do believe that the pricing structure between Etsy, eBay, Poshmark, Depop, that these are different. These could be different prices. Do you do that now, Brian? Do you price differently across platforms?
I do. For like Etsy, I'll do 20 to 30% higher. Depop and whatnot, I do price a little lower because their fees are lower or there was no fees. So I do take 10 to 20% off on those just because they are lower. For example, like on DVDs, I'll price and also on DVD on eBay, I do free shipping. I don't do free shipping on the other platforms. So I include the shipping in on my DVDs and CDs on eBay. So I do
Okay,
price
so tell
differently
me
across platforms.
what made that decision for you? How did you decide that free shipping was worth it on eBay for DVDs?
I looked at what I did, and I looked at the listing quality report, and I did this probably 2 or 3 months ago. I
Okay.
got really looking into that, and almost everybody does free shipping. I had in that category. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to change it because I wasn't really selling a lot of DVDs and CDs. They were just very sporadic. So
Okay.
what I did is I went in there and raised my prices $5 to cover my shipping costs and took away and to add free shipping. My sales have skyrocketed.
Really?
Yeah, because they were number 2 and 3, and now they're number 1 and 2 categories for CDs and DVDs. They have went through the roof because I added free shipping. But I literally raised the price $5.
Right. Right.
So
And so in eBay research, so if you guys are in eBay, go to eBay research, you can research a certain category and it's going to tell you how many things that's been sold in that category had free shipping. So it'll give you the percentage. You can also find that on what Brian said, the listing quality report. And if that isn't a report that you are looking at, I would suggest you look at it. It does say for me to go to free shipping. Now, I was free shipping for years and years and years, and I switched and went to paid shipping. But when you look at the used clothing category now, it's less than 30% offer free shipping anymore. Whereas in like the 2018, 2019, 2020, it was like over 75% of the people offered free shipping. So I do think it's category specific. And so you need to know in your category what those buyers are looking for and what you're up against for your competition. So when you decided to do that, the fact that you went through the roof on that is, I mean, it just shows that you're now making the right decision based on the category.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so yeah, because like I said, I was selling very little over there, and now it's like every day I got media going out every single day.
And so Tommy asked, he said, I froze for a minute. Did he say he was doing free shipping and raised $5 on Poshmark or eBay? Just eBay, right?
Just on eBay, because on Poshmark, I list them at $10. My CDs and DVDs at $10 because they pay the shipping and there's a fee and their Poshmark fees. So I list them at $10 over there. And on Whatnot, I do the same thing. I list them at $10 over there because they're paying the shipping. So
somebody asked if this is going to be taped so she could listen to it later. It will absolutely will. It will be, if you go to our YouTube channel later, it will be under the live tab. If you go under that, you'll be able to watch it later. So yeah, so come back and listen. We hope you will. So do you think now that you need to be buyer specific or platform specific, spit it out, Trish, specific for each platform?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because you're really got to tailor to their customers.
Agreed.
Because not every platform is the same buyers. So.
And is there a platform that you can make? And I don't, when I say more money, I don't mean gross, but like per item. Is there a platform that you make more money per item than the others?
Right now, like on DVDs, I'm making more money on Whatnot than I am. Oh, and on Etsy. Etsy, I'm selling DVDs because even on Etsy, I raised my prices to $14.99 for a DVD, and they're paying shipping.
Oh.
So
So what's the deal on Etsy? They just have to be over 20 years old or 25, or what's the cutoff?
over 20.
Okay.
So
And
they're selling over there. I'm selling VHS and DVDs and CDs almost all the time over there, almost every day over there. So.
And tell us about Whatnot. You mentioned Whatnot. You are not a live seller.
I am not a live seller. I
Right.
only do marketplace, and I've been selling since October on there, and I'm probably averaging probably one sale a day over there on DVDs only right now.
Okay. So is that all you have on there is DVDs?
That's all I have over there. I'm doing one category at a time.
Okay.
Just that way it makes it easier to do the transfer, to get all
Yep.
those over there, and then I'll go to the next category to see how they do.
So that's interesting. So Whatnot, anybody who's was around last week, we did a Whatnot. Whatnot came in and gave us a presentation about starting over there. And Anna, the girl who came and did it, really did not seem, I don't want to use the word thrilled, but didn't seem to think that the marketplace was anything worth. I mean, did you get that feeling from her too? That like it wasn't worth doing. Like she really wanted us to do live sales.
Yeah, she said it was like 10% of their business or something. Is pretty small amount. I want to prove them wrong.
Good job, Brian. I want you to prove them wrong too. No, but when she said that to me before we met with you guys, she and I had a couple of meetings, and she said to me, it's less than 10% of our business. I don't, I mean, kind of said like, why would anyone bother? And I said, well, for how easy it is to cross list, right? How easy it is to get from the LP catalog into Whatnot. If you're selling one DVD a day, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, how much time is it taking? Minutes.
Yeah, I list 50 a day right now, and I'm taking probably 15 minutes at the most to do 50. So.
Right. And hopefully, I think Liz wrote did seem enthusiastic. I think she might have meant didn't seem enthusiastic, but maybe that's what I got from it, that she just didn't seem to think it was the best thing. But I think for us, since we can cross post so easily over there and you're having good success, I think it's worth the shot. I am very interested to see how it will continue to grow and if it will get bigger. And so what kind of money do you charge on Whatnot?
I charge $10 for DVDs. So.
And then they pay the shipping?
And then they pay the shipping. So I net about $8.50.
That's awesome.
So.
Hi, Miss Clara. I wouldn't have known you by your name, but I knew it was you by your photo. Okay, so tell me, so what do you believe? I believe anyways, that when you price differently on the platform, that you're just being strategic. You're just trying to get the most money that you can out of each platform. Do you worry about a buyer doing a Google search and finding it for different prices on different platforms?
Nope.
I
I
don't
don't
either.
care where they buy it from.
Yeah.
And I see Pam asked if I take offers on whatnot.
Oh,
I have only had one person send me an offer on everything. Everything's been to buy it out, and they've never made an offer. So
that's interesting, Pam. I didn't even know they allowed offers on whatnot.
they do,
Yeah.
and it's 20%. They only allow a 20% offer.
Okay.
So
So Melissa is asking, Brian, do you charge $10 minimum on a DVD, even if the research shows lower?
yes, I do.
Okay.
And mine are selling before other people are selling. So
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I think some of this, the platform wants to make money also. So I sometimes think if you're at the top of the price point or middle upper price of top of the price point, but still within the ballpark, that the platform might push you up before a real low one because they want yours to sell rather than the $3 DVD, if you know what I mean. Does it matter? Does it matter what type of DVD, or is it or is it any DVDs you sell, Brian? How do you decide what you're selling?
I sell them all. I don't care what they are. I'll just buy a whole lot and I'll sell them all. I don't cherry pick at all.
You don't cherry
So
pick it all. And that makes me happy because I hate the idea of going back and touching things more than once, right? So you grab a pile, you do it.
exactly. Yep. I just grab the box or whatever, bring it in, photograph them, list them. What I do also do is if I have the same DVD already listed, I'll just
Uh-huh.
go add a quantity. I'm not going to relist. I'm not going to, if it's in the same condition, I will just
Okay.
add a quantity to it and just move on and put the SKU number on it, and that one's done. So, but I do scan every UPC code into LP. So,
And so do you worry about offers? Do you up the price on not every platform has offers. I mean, most of them do, but do you worry about like an offer heavy platform comparatively?
no,
No. You just this is my price and I'm going with it.
exactly.
Okay.
So,
Um,
I've had offers this week on DVDs on eBay for 99 cents, and I just counter offer. So,
Nan Reynolds P51 asked, does it matter if it's a Blu-ray or not?
nope, they're all the
Same
same
price.
price. Same price.
Okay. What about VHS? You mentioned VHSs.
I do the same thing. $10 on VHS.
Okay. So can I ask a question? If you do not want to tell us, that you can say to me, I don't want to tell you, but what's your buy cost?
Probably about 10 cents a piece or
Okay.
less.
Okay. So easy to let it go for $10 when it's 10 cents.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
making plenty of money off of it,
Right.
even with offering free shipping. And
Yeah.
shipping up to a pound is $4.47.
And so what do you ever go up? Is there ever one that you do a research on and it's worth more because it's rare or they was only made once, or are there any that are more expensive than others?
There are some out there. There are some last releases, or some short release things, and I do research some of them, especially if I've not heard of that brand or that artist or that DVD. I may research that and say, "Hey, I'll research that particular one." But if it's just a standard Finding Nemo, it's going the
Yeah.
same price.
Okay. So you are
One they
not,
made
no, go ahead. I
thousands of
apologize.
them, made
Yes.
thousands and thousands of them.
So you are
So
not going through these and comping them all.
no, no,
Right. So if somebody can, then I don't mean this like get one over on you, but if somebody buys one and it's worth more, good for them. Resell
exactly.
it. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel. That is always how I have felt about clothing too. I have always just kind of put it in buckets. Like I have less than $2 into this. If I can sell it for 25, God bless me. And if it's worth more and somebody else buys it, okay. It isn't, I'd rather spend my time listing more than figuring it all out, if that makes sense. Especially when most of it, is just a certain thing. Okay, so Liz wrote, I like the idea. This is how I feel about it too. I like the idea of having a set price. It takes the stress out of attempting to price the DVD. I mean, and it's true. You don't have to think about it.
I do the same thing on books. If they're like a bestseller or something that's been around, the common books that everybody has, they're getting the same price. If it's something I know is not, it's rare or a very antique book, I'll research those. But same thing. I'm just closing the same way. I'm just bucket pricing everything.
Me too. That's what I do also. Steph
And
asked, do you sell any DVDs or CDs without cases?
I do. I do put them in paper sleeves. So they do go in paper sleeves, and I will sell them without cases. So, and I have a ton right now that I have to get photographed that I haven't messed with yet, but I do have some that I get done.
I don't think I realized that anyone would buy them like that.
Yep. Because they may have the case. They may already
Yep.
have the case. They just need the DVD or the CD to go with it.
Do you sell empty cases also?
I do not sell empty cases yet, but I will.
Okay.
And you could also take the J card, like out of a cassette tape.
Yeah.
The booklets out of the CDs, the artwork out of the DVD, and sell them separately. So I
Huh.
have not yet, but I do have a stack of those that need to be done. So
Okay.
I do sell cassettes and 8-tracks too.
So is this considered long tail inventory?
It is. It's very long tail. Some of this stuff's been listed for a couple of years now.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. Let's go to you got a price for it that you like. It's a long tail item. Do you end and sell similar, delist, relist? Do you do anything like that to keep it fresh, or are we letting it ride at the moment?
I have been starting to pull down like 5 to 10 items a day that's over a year old and relisting them. But right now I'm just at that year mark. So most of them been out there for a couple of years. I'm finally got them down to about a year.
Okay.
So
So your buy cost is very low. Even if you have in shipping, you're still making money. I assume they're pretty fast to list.
oh yeah, I can list a couple of hundred a day if I'm just doing DVDs.
Yeah. So what are the hidden costs of it? What are the hidden costs of these? I mean, they're not taking up much space.
No, I have a building that once it's completely ready, it'll hold 50 to 60,000 pieces of media in it. So
That just sounds ridiculous. Okay, so tell us about the inventory system for it. How do you inventory it?
everything's in numerical order. I use shelves and I use boxes, and they're all literally in numerical order. So I can just go out there and pull whatever DVD it is. The other thing I put on there, they always put DVD in front of the SKU number, or VHS in front of it, or CAS for cassette type of thing, so that I know that it's a cassette or a DVD. Quickly, without looking at the SKU number, I know where to go look. I don't have to go digging around and it's over here, it's not over here, or whatever.
Right.
Because I keep all my DVDs on one side, VHS in another area, so they're all organized by their category.
So do you think that, there are going to be some people, and I'm sure there's some people in the audience who think, I am not doing all this work for $4, $5, $6, $8, right? What would you say to that?
If you have the space, do it because it's worth it. But just realize it's a long tail. It's going to take you time to build up that inventory to get there. Because I did not get there a couple years ago. It's taken me 3 years to get almost 5,000 pieces of media. So
And now you have media sales every day.
oh yeah, I average probably 3 to 4 CDs or DVDs a day right now. Last week I think I averaged like 15 to 20 a day.
Well, that makes sense for the time of year, I assume. And is it a cyclical thing? Is it higher in fourth quarter?
I don't. I can't really look. It's been higher this quarter only because I went to free shipping, so I don't know how it's going to play out throughout the rest of the year for next year.
Okay, so it'll be interesting that'll be interesting to see if the free shipping really bumps you up or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to be looking at to see how that plays out with the free shipping through 2026.
Yeah, and people, I think, especially thrifters, I think sometimes we get into this mentality that I'm going to buy it for $2 and flip it for 300, or, buy something for 40 and make 500 off of it. And I think that those things are great, right? Like we all want those experiences. We all want to be able to find that stuff, but you can build a very healthy, sustainable business based on lower end items. I mean, that was my whole life, right? I wasn't making money off my Walmart shirts. I was making money off of multiple Walmart shirts, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I think it's just another way of looking at this business. And there are always going to be some people who don't want to do volume. But if you're going to do volume, you want to make sure that you can make the money that you want to make. And you have to make sure your margins are right. I mean, if you started paying $3 for a DVD or a CD, that wouldn't be worth it.
It would not be worth it if I had to pay $3 a DVD.
Right.
But I go to yard sales, estate sales, and I just buy them all. And then they give you these great big eyes, like, really?
Yeah, please take these away. Exactly. I know, it's true.
And then they don't know what to sell them to you for. They're like, I don't know what they're worth.
Right. So, well, and they're not worth that much individually like that. They're worth that much. They're worth 10 or 15 bucks to somebody who's like, oh crap, I'd really like to see that movie, or my kids are driving me crazy, I'll just buy them that movie, or whatever it is. Yeah. But at an estate sale, the pool's too small. They're never going to sell all of those.
No. And I'll go in and buy a couple of hundred of them, 200, right. 300, even 500. I bought 1,000 of them for $100 one time. So.
Yeah. How could you? Nobody's going wrong with that. Yeah. And a healthy profit and a healthy profit margin, I think, is what you want to think about. A healthy profit margin. How much I'm spending, how much the fees actually are, and what I'm getting back on my return. And if the fact that you can list them so quickly and easily, that is a game changer.
Yep. My goal is I have the premium store on eBay. I want to cap out, because you get to 10,000 free listing, and then you get 15,000 in other categories, DVDs and media's in that 50,000. So I want to cap out to 50,000 of those.
And how long do you think it's going to take you? Have you thought about this?
I have not thought about this, but it's going to take me some time. It'll probably take me a couple of years.
Especially because the more you list, the more you sell.
Exactly.
Right? So hopefully maybe you'll never get there, if you know what I mean, because you're selling too much. And I just read an article either yesterday or the day before about how they think that people are buying back media now because they don't like the fact that it's only on streaming and that you can't necessarily find what you want immediately.
Exactly. And streaming services are constantly losing their rights to this movie or that movie or whatever.
Right.
Same thing with streaming with audio for songs.
Right.
The same thing.
And so I just read this article how they think all of this stuff is going to come back around, the DVDs, the CDs, and how we got out of it for a while, and now it's going to come back.
Yeah. Blockbuster is going to make a comeback.
You think so? The red box. You remember the red box?
Yeah, I have a bunch of them too. The red box cases.
Do you?
Yep. I sell them right in those cases too. So.
So what did Liz wrote? Every penny counts, and it's good to have activity in your store, even if it's a lower priced item. Absolutely. This is my thinking anyways. And then she wrote, the more you list, the more you sell. That is absolutely right. Sales beget sales, and an active store will stay more active. And so, listing these lower dollar items sometimes can be worth it to have a healthy store, because you'll be able to sell some of the other high-end things you have easier.
They give you velocity. So definitely.
Right. Exactly. The velocity in your store can really make a big difference. Cap out in what, who, what, where? What did we say that Tommy doesn't understand? I don't know, Tommy. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's go back to pricing. You don't price the same across all platforms, which I think is absolutely a great idea. I also think you got to make sure. Oh, he's trying to max out. Okay, now I know what Tommy's asking. Try to max out something. You get 50,000 with the premium store, which is the middle store category, right? It goes basic, premium, anchor, Enterprise, I think.
Yes.
With the premium store, you get 50,000 free media, DVD, CD,
Book.
VHS listings. Books also are in that category. Okay.
Yep.
So you get 50,000 free ones. And he's saying he'd like to max out that 50,000. That's what he was saying, Tommy.
I'm gonna be pretty busy.
Yeah. He's going to be and so here's the thing, Brian, though. You have buildings, right?
I do. I have 4 of them right now, and I'm going to look at buying 2 more.
Oh my Lord, Brian. So I mean, Brian's got the space. You know, some of us, I have space, right? And so me building a business that was based on volume was okay because I had the space. Some of you guys can't do that. Now, Tommy's in Seattle. He lives in the city. Probably not as you couldn't do 50,000 DVDs, Tommy, because that just wouldn't work with what you're doing and where you are. So some of this is based on what you have available to you.
Yep. You definitely have to have space.
Yeah.
Space.
So the other thing I'd like to talk about is making sure that you understand what the fees are and whatever is available on that platform. Because one way to get very discouraged, I think, quickly is to look at your invoice and be like, why the heck are they taking all this money? And I think we've all had that experience where we have sold something and we've gone in and looked at the invoice and thought, crap, I didn't make nearly as much money on that as I thought I would.
Exactly. And I see those type of posts on Facebook all the time. It's like, what happened here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had promoted listings on, you had promoted priority, you had all this stuff, and now they're taking $50 out of your $100 listing. That's like,
right.
So,
and they don't understand why. And I think that we need to be a more savvy business owner and actually understand what the fees are and understand what your bottom dollar is. And I mean, when I figure out eBay, I always just say 30% is going to eBay off the top. Like,
yeah.
I mean, because eBay says, oh, it's only, 12 to 15% per category. Yeah, but that's only one thing you're charging us for, So you can say that, but to me, it's closer to 30 all of the time. And if I go up in my promoted, it could be up to 50.
Yeah. So, yeah, because I promote at 6 right now, and it's probably closer to 30 or 35% right now. So
do you think you need to? What are you going to do in January when
I'm staying right now where I'm at because the categories are pretty competitive.
Okay.
So, and I think promoting at 6 has put me above a lot of the other people. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's smart to decide if you're going to promote or not based on the category and how competitive it is and how competitive your pricing is. And also, I mean, and you price a little higher sometimes than other people, right?
Yeah, so like DVDs are typically that same DVD is selling for like $2 with free shipping. It's like, how are you making any money? So
they're not.
They're not. So, but I'm selling them at $14.99 with free shipping. So it's like, and they're selling. So, and I think that's just promoted.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is, volume. Both Brian and I are volume sellers. But I do think to be a successful volume seller, you have to do what the non-volume sellers do. And you have to think about your margins, right? You have to really know the money. What is your overhead? What is your actual selling fees? What are you actually signed up for? Knowing these things will help you decide pricing and what you can take and what you can't take. So Deborah asks, do you mark your product with the invisible ink to prevent buyers from exchanging your product for their broken or scratched DVDs? I use the ink on all of my hard goods.
I do not, but my return rate is so low that it's not been an issue. On DVDs, I may have taken 4 returns this year.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know anything about that pen. Is it an ultraviolet light pen? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know anything about that. Oh, sorry. I apologize. That was the wrong one. Tommy's, oh, I'm sorry. This poor woman is just trying to talk to Tommy and I'm like interrupting their real conversation. Okay, so she wrote, I would never have thought about doing that. Of course, I also haven't had that type of issue with returns. Sounds like a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I think returns are a part of the deal. I think we all need to take a return every once in a while, whether we want to or not, whether it's justified or not. Do you have free returns, Brian?
60-day free returns.
Me too. 60-day free
And my
returns.
return rate all across all of eBay is like 2.5%. So
I do 60-day free returns. I'm a used clothing seller. And so and women's clothing, I get more returns than I think most people. And I am at about 5% at the moment. I jump between 4 and 6 all the time. So when you're going forward in 2026, what are you thinking about?
Pricing. One of the things with pricing is I'm looking at, because I only did one category. I wanted to see how the free shipping did on that.
Yep.
So since it's doing really well, I may look at another category. For example, like women's tops or something. Just pick that one top,
Yep.
add the shipping into it, and see if tops pick up. Because that is my third highest category in
Yep.
sales. So maybe add free shipping into that. So I'm looking at like on eBay on that. So looking at other platforms, see what the fee structure is going to be, because things are coming.
I agree.
Changes are coming.
I agree.
I don't think some of the marketplaces understand that the fee structures and stuff like that. They're trying to make money. They're realizing that they're not charging the fees or whatever. So things are coming. So I'm going to have to really look at how the fee structure is going to happen.
I think Poshmark's going to change. It'll be interesting to see what Posh does if they change their fee structure from, a flat 20%. I really do think that Poshmark is starting to make some big moves. I personally, this is my prediction for 2026. I think shipping. I think sharing is going to become a thing of the past. I think that by 2027, sharing will be gone. That's just my own guess. I don't have any inside knowledge. I understand I work for List Perfectly. I know nothing. I don't want anyone to think I have any knowledge. I don't. But my own personal opinion is they're going to get rid of it.
I agree. I think there are going to be a lot of changes on Poshmark, and people are going to go crazy.
I think so too. I think Posh is going to try to become more of a quote unquote professional resellers platform than just what it is at the moment, which is, half professional, half just women trying to or exchange their closets, get new things, which is great. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think it is in a way to have a successful business going forward for Posh.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to change. That's my guess. One thing I would also say for 2026 is know your data. Go in, look at your solds, run comps, see where you are in the heat, figure out if, how you're doing. I mean, really dig into the numbers. Know what your competition is. Like Brian knows that his competition is people who are selling, he's up as his competition because he has free shipping, even though he's charging more. People view it as a good value. Use data and don't panic.
Yep.
That's my, and when people, and the platforms are going to make changes. And when they make changes, don't panic.
Yep. Just go with the flow and learn to accept to play in their sandbox.
Exactly. We're all in their sandbox and we have to do what they want. And the other thing I would say is, so let me ask you a question. Do you mark high so that you can come down a little? Do you run sales? Do you do things?
I always run a 20% sale on eBay. Everything.
Okay.
I price about 30% higher and run about 20% sale.
Okay.
And then take offers. So
okay.
So like my DVDs are always at $14.99, but really they were selling for $11.99.
Okay.
And I'm still making money on them. So
good. And what about the other platforms that take offers?
I always price Poshmark I'll price even higher sometimes than eBay, just a little bit higher, just because they take 20%.
Yeah.
And then people want to lowball you as low as they can possibly go.
Yep.
So I try to I put that into play. The other ones, that's about really only the one that really takes offers. Etsy, I've really not taken offers on Etsy. They just
Okay.
them people over there just buy it. They don't
Yeah.
realize they don't send you offers very often. So, but I price higher over there. I literally price 20 to 30% higher.
So what's your second highest platform after eBay?
Etsy, and then Walmart is my third highest.
Okay. And Walmart, you can't sell these things, right? Or can you?
I cannot sell used DVDs or CDs over there.
That's what I
I
thought.
can't sell
Okay.
CDs or DVDs over there. They got a categories blocked.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Because they're selling them.
I can sell some CDs, but no DVDs at all.
Okay. So the other thing, dig into the data. I'm going to say that again, really dig it in. So all of these fee breakdowns, we did a show a little while ago. Steph is asking, so you run continuous sales, not for a certain amount of time and then start over? How do you do your sales?
I do like a 3-day and a 4-day sale, like a 3-day through the week, and then the weekend, Friday through Monday.
That's what I do too. And do you set it up like once a month?
Yeah. Which
yeah, I do too.
I got to get ready to go do because the end of the month is coming.
Yeah, I do that also.
And sometimes I'll forget. And then they'll be 2 weeks later, and I forgot that they were not there.
I've done that also. And I'm like, why are my sales slow? I'm like, oh crap, you moron. You didn't put the sale back on. But I also do a 3-day sale. There used to be data. Listen, I'm not saying that this is happening now, but there used to be data that proved that that little countdown clock would spur people to buy because they didn't want to miss the sale, right? So that used to be a thing. And I think it still works. Personally. And so if you are not running 3-day sales, if you're running like month-long sales, I would absolutely say to you, try it for a month. You can go in and set it up one time. You don't have to, do it every day or every 3 days. You can set it up at the beginning of the month, try it for a month, and then, see if you get more sales from it. I personally do think it makes a difference. Bill's in the chat. He does Thursday to Monday and Monday to Thursday. Yeah. That's basically the same thing, except for Brian and I are adding an extra one. So, understanding, I think, the fee structure. So right now, Depop doesn't have any fees, but they also really don't take anything other than clothing and accessories. Nothing that plugs in. So can you sell DVDs and CDs on Depop?
Yes. Yep. You can sell.
Okay. So what do you have them marked on there?
I have not listed any over there yet.
Okay.
So, because on Depop, I was doing, since I do promoted the boosted sales, you can see the top keyword or whatever that's sold, and that's how I've been listing over there. So I'd go in and look at the items sold at that day. Like if it's sweaters, I'd go list sweaters that day.
Okay.
If it's jeans, I'm going to list on jeans or whatever. That's how I've been listing over there.
And have you had any sales?
One.
I am convinced that Depop's going to work. I am. I think it's going to grow. I think Depop, this is just, again, my personal opinion. I think Poshmark is slipping and Depop's going to go up a little.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. So understanding pricing structures. So, Depop doesn't have any pricing structure, right? You're paying what, 8% to promote your store?
Yeah. Yep.
And then there's the card fee of 3%, but there's no platform fees on Depop. And you don't even have to do the 8% if you don't want to. So Depop can be a way to add some more money to your bottom dollar because there's very little fees involved. Etsy, what do the fees run at Etsy?
I think, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. I think they're really close to about what eBay's are running. So.
Okay. Crystal just said I've had almost daily sales there in the last 10 to 12 days. Good to know, Crystal. How many items do you have up there now? If you know, I'm just wondering. Do you sell on Marketplace, Brian?
I do not.
Okay.
Facebook Marketplace is a tough market.
It is a tough market. It really is. So, you know, I think that you just need to get a handle. Everybody just needs to get a little bit of a handle on what their fees are, and data will really help you with that. Liz wrote data is key, and I think she's completely right. We can make a lot of decisions in our business based on what's already happening when you know the data. And I think that that makes a big difference. Bill wrote, it's 20 cents a listing for 4 months. You know, the other day I was listening to somebody who didn't like the idea of the 20 cents for every 4 months. They wish they had like a store subscription or whatever. You know, they're all different. You just have to lean into it and figure out what your items are doing at that specific platform. So Crystal has 1,600 listings on Depop, and she's down. Crystal, I'm glad to know that it's working for you.
I think I have probably 100.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad you didn't say, hey, I got 2,000.
I got almost 3,000 on Whatnot. So.
Okay, so let me just ask you a couple of questions. So what platform surprises you the most when it comes to fees?
With fees, I don't know. It's eBay has the highest fees. That's just crazy. But I don't know. There really ain't no surprises because they really pretty much tell you.
Yeah.
So I don't really see much of a surprise.
Okay, and so do you think that fees should be a bigger part of the conversation? Do you think that we as resellers don't talk about it enough?
Yeah, because I don't know if everybody understands
I agree.
the fees because every platform is different. Every platform.
I agree.
So, and they change them. Like
Exactly.
Macari did it, and then they reverted back, and then they
Right.
changed, and it's like
Right.
I think
I
Poshmark
totally.
changed for a short, brief time
Oh
too.
yeah, they did for a very short time. They went
Like
to
3 days.
yeah, they reversed. I thought Macari was going to reverse also. They had done it, but Poshmark reversed. You're right. In like a week, they were back to what they were before.
Yeah.
They'll change again though. That's my guess. And so what do you price differently now than you did a year ago?
Yeah, because like I said, with the free shipping, that's one of the things I price differently on DVDs. I've redid that, but really, no, I haven't really priced anything different. So
Yeah, I price a little different than I did a year ago. I still use bucket pricing. I find that the easiest for what I sell. But now that my daughter does a lot of it, she sees things that sometimes she'll price something higher, and I'm like, why are we pricing that like that? And she'll be like, oh, you know, that's in right now. Things that I never thought about, really. You know, mine was always quality and if it was, you know, in good shape. And hers is a lot more about aesthetics, which I do think the market has changed a little. You know, when I started, no one wrote like, maybe you wrote boho or bohemian, but you certainly didn't use cottage core or granny core or norm core or any of those, you know, fairy aesthetic, all those things. You don't really, all that now seems to be taken to place. And I think it even matters more on like Depop and Poshmark than maybe even eBay.
yeah.
Yeah. So let me see if anybody is saying. So I don't know who this is. Happy to see Brian some love with all he does for nonprofits.
That's Jason.
Oh, that's Jason.
Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Boy Scout patch guy.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about you, Jason. We were just talking about Boy Scout patches the other day, and your name came up. So we're glad you're here, Brian. I mean, Jason. Chris wrote, you can list at 20 cents a lot to pay compared to the eBay store monthly cost. Exactly about that, especially for 4 months, right? Yeah.
And your hope is you sell it within 4 months, you don't have to pay that fee again.
Right. Exactly. Liz wrote, I'm careful that I understand the fees so I don't lose my shirt. Exactly. And I think this is the most real thing to say, right? If your cost of goods is low enough, this other stuff isn't as much of a big deal. It's when your cost of goods get higher that every penny becomes more and more important. And you have to be careful of every cost of good, of every sale, of all those things. But when you are buying really cheaply, it gives you a lot more breathing room.
Yes, it does. And I buy really cheap. I get a lot of stuff donated to me too because I do nonprofits and stuff like
Right.
that. So I get a lot of stuff.
Well, I look forward to 2026. I look forward to, seeing what changes happen. I absolutely think Poshmark is going to change. And it will be interesting to see how this goes forward. We're going to leave here and go over to Listing Party. Anybody wants to come join us? We're going to go to the after party inside Listing Party. Brian, I appreciate you as always coming and sitting down with us. Thank everyone for being here. And wait, let me see if I can do this. See, I don't do this enough. Sometimes I stink at it. There we go. Nope. Anybody who I can't do it. Please, everyone, come over to Listing Party. I appreciate you all. Everybody have a great day. Brian, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course,
And I'll see you in
anytime.
Listing Party.
Yes, see you there.